What are the best altcoins right now that have fallen to levels on this recent market correction, giving us the same quality positions except much higher multiples? Well, I'm going to answer that today. I'm going to give us the top gainers of the high quality projects, basically. Now, why this is important, I've got about 10 or so of these coins today, is we're going to range from high market cap to low market cap, but I deem them all very safe. Even the very low market cap projects, I've personally invested in these. I've done a lot of research on these, and I strongly do believe the multiples I'll mention to you for each of these today are backed up by data and all of my fundamental analysis. Not to say they're going to be correct. This is not financial advice, but it's going to serve a very important purpose. Now, what is that purpose? Well, at the very end of this video, we're going to take all of this information. What we're going to do with it is we're going to gamify our own portfolios, meaning I'm going to show you how to take this and actually make your portfolio safer. A very important thing I think most people leave out of these videos. It's only half the story, maybe even less, if I give you coins and tell you what multiples. But I think if I tell you how to leverage that information, that's where the true power comes out of it. So stay tuned to the very end. You'll be very thankful for it. First of all, what do I classify as a project that meets this criteria, that makes it to the list of this video? Well, obviously all altcoins are down right now. So respective to where all these coins were 1 month ago, they're relatively cheap. Bar 3 particular high quality coins I will show you here in a second. These 3 coins haven't made it to this list because they aren't on a massive discount. I still think the 3 coins I'll mention will likely at least 10x from today's prices, but the coins I'll mention later on in the second here will probably do even upwards of a 20x, okay? I'll talk minimums though. Now, again, what constitutes this? Well, honestly, it's the coins that have been pretty much holding up quite heavily against Bitcoin, or should I say steadily against Bitcoin, and also the relative market as well. This is, of course, one of my bull run cheat sheet slides, right? And this actually shows the, again, percent change in terms of 24-hour up to about 3 months, and then versus Bitcoin. You'll notice the likes of Kaspa on this list, Pendle and Ondo Finance all stacking up very, very well against Bitcoin and the overall market. And all you have to do is have a look at the price movement in relative times, and you'll actually see it's really doing quite well. It hasn't really moved down from the recent highs. Matter of fact, again, Kaspa recently had its all-time high. Pendle, sort of a similar story as well. As you can see, actually it's trending upwards right now. And Ondo Finance, well, I mean, Ondo Finance is about 1,300% up so far since inception, and this coin does not want to go any lower than $1, okay? Not even $1. So all these 3 coins are fantastic, and if you use this sheet right here, you can see, again, in a multitude of different areas as well, that they have a lot of, investor confidence, and they are high quality altcoins for this bull run. They would make it to this list. Again, not so much though, because they haven't given us that dirt cheap prices. So like I said, for each of those respectively, I'm pretty comfortable in saying from the current prices, I would say a 10x from here is definitely very possible for these 3. Now, when I say price predictions, for those who are new around here, I'm not talking about what price you should look to get out of. I'm talking about the price that the coin's going to wick to and wick down to, okay? So we're not looking at, this is when we should be getting out. A price prediction is timing the all-time high, which never is a sustained price. Not even in Bitcoin, okay? In addition to that, I want to say if you do find yourself enjoying today's video, guys, do not forget, drop down there and hit the like button, because these videos take a while and years of research and understandings of the market to bring to you. That would mean a lot. And while you're down there, hit the subscribe button because, well, it'll allow you to achieve all your crypto goals this cycle. So as you might imagine, with 10 altcoins to talk about here, I'm going to have to be quite fast. So for those of you who like me talking about the coins and the fundamental reasons, this ain't the video for you. I've pretty much got a full review video on each of these altcoins individually, and if I remember to, I will leave the links for those in the description. Otherwise, go to my channel, click the search bar in my sort of videos home community tab, and just type in the project's name, and there will be the videos for you to watch, okay? But I'm picking these today because they are all fundamentally in the 2 most important things in crypto, period. 1, they're in high quality narratives or multiple high quality narratives, 9s, 10s, maybe even 8s or 7s. Either way, their primary focus in crypto is on this. This means there doesn't really need to be a massive wow factor for the coin. The coin doesn't have to be this new next level high-tech thing. It just has to be saying, hey, we do AI, we do DePIN, we do modularity, we're a layer 2, we're a bloody ZKP, we're a meme coin, whatever, and it's going to do well. Represented here as well. Now, of course, the lower we go in this case, you'll notice that the coin has to stand out more because these areas of crypto aren't going to get that much attention, okay? They have to do something unique to attract the investor. This is a speculation market, which means you can't apply the typical fundamental metric sort of research methods that you would typically do in a business like the stock market, for example, to crypto. It's a massive fallacy. Looking at metrics will be completely off. Coins pump for as little as a reason as it sounds cool, it looks cool, or literally the roadmap has a website refresh like AOS Network. Small, insignificant things move the market substantially, and it's very heavily manipulated. So again, we can't look at that. We have to look at narrative and meme. Hence, I've picked these coins. All right, so you're sick of me talking. Let's get the first coin out the way. NEAR Protocol is on this list. Now, I'm going to say straight away, my price prediction for this coin is about $70 to $80. Data says about 70, I say about 80, others say 90 or 100. But again, I don't want to throw a number out here and hope for the best. I want to throw a number out here that's going to allow you guys to be much safer. When you are much safer, you can use my exit level calculator. Again, I use this in my bull run cheat sheet, basically, that has all this automated where you pretty much know what level you should be max looking for based on the red, gray, and green zone I talk about all the time, right? This can be very illiquid. This is 50-50. Green zone is where there should be a liquid market still. And of course, for NEAR Protocol, $55 should still be quite liquid. So in this case, it's basically around a 10, 11x is what you're looking for here with NEAR Protocol, not the max 70, 80, 90, or $100. So you got to kind of use these things to your advantage and again, get out with safe returns, make money this cycle, guys, and then look to reinvest in the next bear market when everyone else lost money this cycle, okay? Talk to anyone that's been around crypto for more than one cycle. Now, in saying that as well, NEAR Protocol ticks a lot of boxes, right? So Web3 Layer 1 project. This thing hits AI, very loosely, by the way. This thing is technically a DePIN project as well. It's modularity, data availability. It ticks a lot of the boxes, which is why it's one of the best performing assets of the bull run. And being now at $5, this is unbelievably cheap right now, guys. Consider, again, it was about $8.50 recently. And again, having such a high multiple on the cards, I mean, how can you find a high quality project like NEAR Protocol at a somewhat, again, quotes here, non-financial advice, sort of safe 10x? I mean, it's hard to come by. Next, I want to talk about Internet Computer Protocol as well. In the same respects, this coin was pushing a lot of multiples recently, almost $20. That's a 2x over from the current price, right? Which is incredible to think about. Now, again, Internet Computer Protocol is similar to NEAR Protocol in the fact that it's a Web3 Layer 1 coin, also hits DePIN, also hits AI. I would argue hits those kind of more heavily, but these guys are doing more, again, in those AI particularly space, being kind of leveraging a full AI model on the blockchain. Plus, I mean, ICP has literally the hallmarks of one of the all-time greatest coins in crypto. It's one of my top favorite projects of all time. Honestly, again, you can't go wrong with a coin like this, because if something were to happen to you this bull run, at least you know you're in a quality coin. If you woke up in a coma, again, God forbid, in 2030, you're like, oh, thank God I have ICP, right? It's a quality coin. Inflation isn't much. All the rest of it, it's just a solid pick. Now, for ICP, been about a 3.8 billion market cap. The data prediction from, again, this thing is variable as well, so it can change. I believe right now it's about $140. Again, this is a prediction based on data and also current performance in the last 6 or so months, maybe even 8 months, but I think it can go even more. I think about $180 is possible for ICP. Somewhere in between 140 and 180, I think it'll go. Again, that's my personal prediction mixing with data. Who really knows for certain? Next up, of course, is render. Now, again, we're focusing here on the top narrative, so you can see some overlap happening already, okay? So NEAR, Internet, and render, they all hit one massive narrative, which is AI. You think about it for a second, okay? What is the number one in the world's largest stock? Okay, it's NVIDIA. Now, NVIDIA wasn't that high up not long ago, okay? It's this prevalence of AI, GPUs, all of these sort of characteristics that I believe shaping up to be a similar story to like the dot-com boom, for example, or like the dot-com boom mixed in with DeFi summer from last cycle. This next massive leg up, I believe, will be propelled by AI, and if not propelled, it will definitely be overtaken by the AI narrative. So, render hitting AI and deepen, I think here is a literal no-brainer. I don't care how many times in your portfolio you hit AI and deepen, it doesn't matter. More the merrier, in my personal opinion. So for this coin being $7.40, I think no one expected it to fall back down to $7 after it dipped over here somewhat recently. And actually it did wick down a little bit more, I do believe, as well, down to about $6, I think, momentarily there. So again, I think $7 is an absolute steal. The price prediction sheet comes up at about $110 per coin, and I would go as far as to say about $170 per coin on the high side. And the reason I am going higher with some of these predictions is because the fundamentals, which is what the data can't predict, stacks up for this cycle. Again, the whole thing I just sort of said there, where AI is going to really propel, I believe, based on this sort of .com boom, new hysteria, basically. Next up, we have a gaming pick here, Immutable X, by far the leading gaming infrastructure project there is, period. And I didn't think we'd fall too much lower than $2. But here we are, just like the rest of the story, $1.58. Incredible price, I believe, for a quality coin. Now, the data prediction is coming up here at about $21, $22-ish, which again is over a 10x from the current price. I would go as far as to say maybe even $35 for this coin. I know that might freak some of you out. How is it so high, Kyron? Again, we saw the kind of meteoric gains that gaming gave us in the last cycle. And if you think about it, just like AI is going to have actual adoption in the real world, therefore it will carry across to crypto, because we kind of are to some degree at that level. It's kind of parallel with the real world. Gaming is more or less moving that way as well. Yes, we can't right now fully host games in a decentralized way, but that's kind of the important thing, right? Gaming is, a very centralized thing in crypto right now, but we leverage a token, if you will, within that gameplay, that GameFi loop, okay, which allows there to be a lot of demand for these coins. If we were going fully decentralized in gaming for crypto, I think right off the rip, it would be a very horrible experience. We'd pretty much be playing Snake, right? Or Minefield on decentralized sort of networks. But this is a very applicable thing into the real world. Therefore, we should usher in a whole bunch of actual Web 2 gamers looking to make some money, like the massive boom with play to earn last cycle. So again, great price. This was actually quite high recently at $3.50. So that's pretty much a 2x, if not a little bit more, from the current prices. Now, Celestia is the next one, but this is an interesting coin, right? Because I made a video recently talking about the huge unlocks coming for Celestia. I think this coin will definitely launch regardless of these unlocks, and my personal prediction is about $150. However, I have had other people say even more. The one thing you have to remember here, like the data sheet that I have, again, this is the bull run cheat sheet we're talking about here. The reason why data says it won't go it won't go any higher than $30 is because these massive unlocks have a weird distortion for the price. Obviously, as new money is created, essentially, right, these unlocks happen. Well, what happens? It technically, creates a more difficult time or reduces the price, right? It creates a bit more difficulty for the price to move up after that, okay? It, inflates the supply. The only issue with that in crypto is it's a little bit different to that of the real world. It doesn't actually make it more difficult for the price to move up because markets move based on the depth, based on the volume, occurring on each of these exchanges. Now, yes, definitely, the larger a coin is, the deeper the deeper the volume and the depth will be on these exchanges. But again, it's not going to be as much as moving multiple billions. So on my personal prediction, I think probably going to hit about a 20x or a little bit more from today's prices. But if you are someone who is very horrified of the massive unlock, and it is a sort of horrifying one going all to VCs, I understand if you want to opt out. So PITH is of course on this list as one of my next coins. Guys, I can't believe PITH is this cheap. Honestly, I just can't fathom it was this low. Now, recently we saw it as high as literally $1.20. This didn't actually show the proper all-time high here. It was insane. And again, looking at the multiples, just to get back up there, it might seem crazy to you, but the only reason it might seem crazy is because of the massive unlock it recently had. Therefore, I believe kind of marking up the supply here inaccurately, all right? So the supply is not, there technically is this much money in the coin if you want to be technical about it, but not actually, okay? It's a lot smaller market cap than this based on, again, economics here. So the reason why I'm so bullish on this is because it's the primary competitor to Chainlink as an oracle, okay? This isn't just an oracle. It pretty much is the main oracle for Solana. It's, again, going to benefit from the Solana ecosystem growth as well, but it is also the primary oracle for a lot of other layer ones in in the space as well. And you just have to look at the stats for PITH to understand this. Again, I've made many videos on that. It's not the premise of this video. You can go have a look, very easy. It's all completely transparent, which is again why if you are someone wanting to leverage an Oracle play, and obviously Chainlink is quite a lot larger, therefore the multiples are a lot less, PITH might be a good choice. I think this coin can go as high as $8 to $10, maybe even more. That's going to sound crazy to some of you who simply go, okay, well, to $10 divided by 31 cents equals, let's just say a 30x, for example, okay? Well, if we 30x the market cap, that's $30 billion. That's crazy, Kyron. It doesn't work like that, guys, okay? I've made videos on this before. It all works on depth. The market cap is a fugazi number. Don't use that to have a look at how high our project can go. The only reason market cap should play any influence on your thinking is that psychologically, people might be a little bit more scared of a project at a 30 billion market cap and then sell because of that, rather than that's how much money is involved to move the price. Now, just like PITH, of course, Wormhole makes it to this list as well. Now, Wormhole's major competitor, Layer 0, recently launched, and I think that's also a great alternative to Wormhole. But I mean, these prices, I think Wormhole is in for a real treat. Actually, recently, we saw it tear the market up. It was blasting off. It went up to about 80 cents from its lows of about 50 cents while the market wasn't looking too hot. Now, of course, it has been pulled back down. I do not, under any circumstances, think the price can't go back up and obviously go a lot higher. I'm going to say around $8, $6 to $8 for this coin is definitely possible. Now, of course, simple maths, that's over a 20x from here. For a coin this large and this quality, I think it's an amazing thing. Now, just keep in mind as well, there are some large unlocks to still occur with the coin. Don't look at FDV. FD is a load of baloney. What we're trying to look at here is when these unlocks will occur in terms of time. They don't occur until a little bit later on in the cycle, and I'm going to assume that we'll have our money out by then. And even if not, most of those unlocks aren't even going to people we should be concerned about. A small amount will be going to VCs. Next up, Aerodrome Finance. This hits, of course, DeFi, the next sort of DeFi wave, DeFi 2.0. Plus, it also hits the base ecosystem. Just like Solana ecosystem, this ecosystem is going to get a lot of attention. A lot of attention, not just because of DeFi or whatever it is, but mainly because of meme coins and other things. Now, what is the primary DEX on base? It's Aerodrome, okay? This has the highest TVL by far. Uniswap is the second most by about half the TVL, and there's a lot of craze on this coin right now. This gives me exposure into DeFi, which is, of course, why I love it. Now, I think Aerodrome can very easily go above $10, $12, $15 even, but that's what I wouldn't want to push you guys too much more than that. I think this coin, based on its previous competitors in a very similar ecosystem from the last cycle, PancakeSwap, we've got a lot of room to still grow here, I believe. Just a matter of time. And again, considering the price is pretty much at the lows it was at way back early this year, it's a bit of a no-brainer in my opinion, okay? Second to last, we have Flux. Now, I won't talk too much about Flux because you guys, I made like 30,000 videos on Flux before. AI DPIN, it's pretty much a small version of ICP, but these guys have partnerships with WordPress. These guys are extremely cheap to use and are actually a viable alternative to real Web 2 products. So I love these guys. Again, they're actually a working project. They're proof of work. They're fairly mined. It's like a little Bitcoin. It's literally everything crypto stands for and more. So I have this coin here at a 200 mil market cap. I've said many a times before this coin can 50x when it was a bit low, about 100 mil market cap, right? But pretty much at this market cap, I believe we can look anywhere from a 20 to 30x. Of course, being a 200 mil market cap, it's a little bit more than what we were looking at before, but still, I do think that there is a lot of multiples to still occur in the coin. And lastly is Goldfinch, GFI. This is a real world asset play. Another top narrative pick of the bull run. We've seen how powerful real world assets can be. And again, this will be a primary competitor to Ondo. Well, kind of, a little bit, not really, all right? Ondo is a much larger market cap, doing a sort of similar different thing, if you will, whereas Goldfinch is much smaller, just as insane, if not more impressive partners and things like that. It's just that Ondo obviously is working closely with, or somewhat closely, if you will, with BlackRock. Sort of, right? I won't get into it. Now, I think that Goldfinch from the current market cap can probably 20 to 30x. That's my interpretation, probably $50, $60 token, if not more. The only thing that brings it down a little bit is because the market cap actually isn't this low. CoinMarketCap is pulling the wrong information in. It's actually about 130 million market cap. So it is a little bit more not this low. And so finally, when we're addressing all of this and how you can use this in your own portfolio is pretty incredible in my opinion. Now, you don't have to go ahead and use my bull run cheat sheet or my exit plan tracker, which I've got here for you all. You don't have to go ahead and use this. All you need to do in your own portfolio here is, first of all, track how much money you have in each of these coins. Find your average buy-in price. Now, when you decide to actually DCA, always DCA in the coin that you think will allow you to bring down your average buy price the most. What this will do is it'll allow you to increase the multiples from your average sell price. For example, if we bought some Near Protocol today, well, that wouldn't be a great example, right? Because Near Protocol, my average buy price is $2.63. Let's say, for example, that, for PITH over here, it's at 32 cents, right? Let's say I bought an extra 10,000 PITH, right? So 74,000 tokens. And that ended up bringing down my average buy price by, after we worked the math out, you can use something like CoinStats. It brought it down to, let's just say, 35 cents, for example. You'll watch the multiples made over here completely change, right? It's gone from literally a 14x up to a 20x because we've reduced the bottom side of the coin, our average entry price, whilst our exit price of $7 has remained the same. Again, this means we make more multiples. Now, in this way, this is a great little sort of thing that you can do to see how much money you make overall, right? Because you might say to yourself, well, hang on a second here, Joe, I'm trying to make only $3.6 million because I'm trying to pretty much get this as my goal, right? I want to get as my goal, total 4.5 million Aussie dollars, which is about 2.9 million US dollars. After tax, if we include it, right, it's about 3.6 million USD. So hang on, I'm about 250K or whatever it is over my goal. So of course, being the safest thing that we can do here, you would then, because you've done this, right? Again, I'll revert this for a second to show you how much money we made. We increased our overall revenue in the bottom right corner here by a good $60,000. You can then move down a more risky asset top side. Like let's say, for example, it was very risky for us to achieve a $30 token for Manta. You might want to be safer in this way and move Manta down to say $25 to then bring back down your top side or your revenue to be much more realistic, right? Because we're just trying to achieve our goal in crypto, okay? We're not trying to make more money if it is not completely safe. If you bring all these levels down to levels in which it's very easy for the projects to hit, fair enough. If you dollar cost average more, you make more money, go for it, go for your life. But for most of us, we're trying to hit prices that ultimately they're a little bit ambitious or they could be safer. So I would always say gamify your portfolio. Treat the portfolio as if it's some sort of game and you're trying to always find a way that you can actually increase the amount of money you make, therefore reduce the sell levels on the riskier coins. It's very simple, but very effective. And I would really encourage you guys to take some of these cheap altcoins I've mentioned here today. If you decide dollar cost average, not financial advice, to add that to your portfolio and bring those sell levels down. Guys, thanks so much for watching this video. I hope you all have a great day. Take good care. Bye-bye.